with more on the battle over the border, the so-called big government shutdown, which is never really a shutdown. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham is with us. Senator, it makes my blood boil because this has happened time and again. We have people that didn't respect our laws or our sovereignty come to America, commit more crimes. They're in custody, and then they are literally, like a state like California, they are protected from the laws of the land, and they commit horrific fines.
Right.
Now, is California, are they going to pay the funeral costs? Are they going to pay the college tuition? How do they explain to this 5-month-old little boy that daddy's never coming back again?
Well, these policies that make it more likely that terrorists, drug dealers, and criminals can come to America and have safe haven. So you said before, I think Steve is a great guy. He said Democrats are not for border security. Yeah, they are, except when Trump's president. I've seen them in action. They have all voted for $25, $42 billion, you name the number, for border security. They won't give a dime to this president because they want him to fail. Walls work. Trump said, let's make a deal. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer said, go to hell. We'll see what happens.
You offered a compromise. Now, Democrats also say they care about the DACA kids. What is your compromise?
Compromise is give President the $5 billion we need for wall/border security as a down payment to securing the border. The DACA population, about 700,000, give them work permits, 3-year work permits, so they don't have to worry about getting deported anytime soon. The TPS people who came here years ago from war-torn areas, hurricanes, and floods, renew their legal status, no pathway to citizenship, and call it a day. It's called compromise. The president said, let's make a deal. The Democratic response is basically, go to hell. They're going to send a bill from the House to the Senate that has no money for the wall. It's not going to see the light of day. Mitch McConnell's never going to bring a bill onto the floor of the Senate that doesn't have money for the wall. We need the wall. They've all voted for the wall. And the only way we're going to get the wall is to fight for it.
This is a battle, to me, worth having, and I know it's inconvenient. By the way, I support all those furloughed employees. I don't want them caught in a political crossfire. They deserve their back pay. It's through no fault of their own that they're not viewed as essential services. But does the president have other options for the wall? For example, why is this not viewed? He's the commander-in-chief. He's in charge of national security of this country. Why couldn't Defense Department funds be used to secure our border to stop the drug trafficking, human trafficking, and even the criminal gangs and the 3,700 terrorists that Steve Scalise mentioned that were caught trying to cross our border? Why is that not a national security Defense Department issue?
You can move some money around, but he'll get sued. There'll be lawsuits in California to stop any effort to have other agencies fund the border, but there's some money you could use for sure. But why should this president have to play that game? Why should Donald Trump have to do that when Democratic presidents and Republican presidents in the past were able to get money to secure the border from Democrats?
Last question.
He shouldn't have to do that.
We're
going to fight.
I support.
I don't know how this movie's going to end, but we're not
days,
giving up till we get the money.
If this takes 150 days, I think the Republican Party needs to stand united with the president. I have confidence in you. I don't have confidence in some of your colleagues, but saving lives, stopping drug trafficking and human trafficking is worth the fight. Will the president hold the line? Will he have the Republican support he needs to hold the line? Well,
let me tell you how our government works. Any bill passed from the House has to come to the Senate. It has to get 60 votes. And for it to be signed into law, the president has to sign it. He's not going to sign a bill that doesn't have money for the wall. I tell you exactly how this is going to end. The president is going to challenge the Democrats to compromise, and if they continue to say no, they're going to pay a price with the American people. Most Americans want to do two things. They want to secure our border, and they want to be reasonable to the people like the DACA population. If he gives in now, that's the end of 2019 in terms of him being an effective president. That's probably the end of his presidency. Donald Trump has made a promise to the American people. He's going to secure our border. Every Democrat in the past has voted for border funding. Now they're changing their mind.
It's too important. Too many lives at stake. Too much danger to the country. Senator, good to see you. Thanks
That's
for
the
being
end
with
of
us.
us if we give on this issue as Republicans.
I'll get your,
Hope Mitt Romney and
help
everybody
your
else
colleagues.
knows
Some
this
of them
is
are
a
pretty
fight
weak.
worth
Help them
having.
grow a spine, will you? Anyway, thanks for being with us. Happy New
He's
Year.
a good man.